podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Welcome to this week's Film Masters.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 397 of Film Bastards. My name's Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everybody.
And Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, one and all. So, this week is a little bit of the calm before the storm. I forgot to watch one of the films that we said we were going to talk about, which is really annoying for me because I really wanted to watch it and I got sucked into watching some other films instead, which we'll talk about in what we watched.
I'd say we'll talk about that next week and give you a chance to watch it, but then we'd only have one feature review.
And we've not watched that much this week.
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. It's fine. I will rewatch it. So, Mark and Becky are going to talk about their rewatch of Doomsday, but what came out on iTunes last week? A film that I feel like is potentially a bit of Mark nip, but we'll find out. This is the Brad Furman directed City of Lies, which has been sitting on a shelf for a couple of years. I quite enjoyed that.
It was impressive.
Thank you. With the golden pair of Johnny Depp and Forest Whitaker trying to solve the murder of Biggie Smalls.
Yep.
Which is a summary of a film I never thought I'd say.
Yep.
We've also got at least one big trailer. We do have some what we watched. But yeah, it is maybe a bit of a calm before the storm kind of show. We are T-minus 7 days until most of the cinema chains in the UK open.
Yeah.
Except for one, which we'll get to in just a second. wearepodsyndicate.com. Listen to shows including The Iron Sequel, Chinstroker vs. Punter, Entertainment Landfill, his film, her movie, Beyond the Neon, and I believe that's it. Bonus show feed, the last There and Back Again was put up on there today. So that's Becky, Jordan, and myself talking The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, and patreon.com/Film Bastards for longer shows and extra content, $2 a month. So, as I said, not every cinema chain is opening next week. Cineworld have just announced, it was kind of announced during the Patreon section recording, that they will not be opening next Monday. They're going to be opening next Wednesday. Mark made a comment about how it's probably because they don't have any staff. And in all honesty, I do slightly wonder if there's an element of truth to that.
Yep. I do think it'll be that they'll be bringing people back from furlough, etc., or however they've done it. Have them in Monday to do a big clean down, Tuesday to do a big setup, then Wednesday to open, which I can kind of see a logic to, because it's better than doing a setup on. They're not going to want to get them in over the weekend. And it's maybe better than getting a setup on a Thursday and a Friday. However, it is a little bit. The problem is with Cineworld, for a start, what I'll say here is our in-cinema experience is always very, very good, isn't it? So this isn't a criticism of Cineworld staff, on the ground staff.
Yeah.
But their whole management structure on a corporate level, they seem to be just very bad at it.
They always just seem to be on the back foot with everything, don't they?
A
bit behind everything else.
Yeah, like for instance, I've had the app since our Cineworld opened 18 months ago. The app still doesn't recognise that I have an unlimited card.
Oh, that's weird.
right? It doesn't recognise that. So if I go to try and order tickets, I can't. That's why I always have to get you. You always get them individually, don't you? Get them as a group booking, because Becky, your app and your login will recognise my Cineworld Unlimited card, but mine won't.
That's shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, because I always just book them because I always book them for both
Yeah.
of us.
So if ever I'm getting a ticket where I'm going on my own, I have to book it on I have to go on the website and book it via that.
That's stupid.
Because it just doesn't recognise it.
It's even like little stuff, like when they announced the price restructure last week, the fact that York wasn't on there.
No.
They'd completely forgotten one of their cinemas.
It's everything always seems to be, or having a bit of technical issues. It's like, right, no. Having technical issues on everything every time you do something isn't technical issues. It's you're not very good at things. No, it does seem a little bit.
And I mean, sorry.
Even to the extent of the fact that the other cinema chains have been announcing the majority of their listings, like for the past week. And Cineworld have gone, well, no, we're waiting till the government announces that we can. It's like, put out some fucking listings, dickheads.
Yeah.
You've restructured the pricing, which has kind of, you've done that, and you essentially have reduced the prices for a lot of people. Great. But then kept the prices for a lot of people exactly the same.
Who are getting exactly the same benefits of membership.
But it feels a little bit like, hang on a minute here. So yes, I'm not being charged more, but I'm certainly not being charged the same as
someone down the road.
Other people, but you're giving me no reasons as to why.
It's basically, you live in an affluent area, you can pay the same as before.
Yeah. And it does feel a little bit like that.
It's shit.
I'm convinced. So to give some context here, if I paid monthly, my monthly rate would go down from I think $17.90 to $9.99. Mark and Bex are still going to be paying the same as they were. $18.40. There you go. Okay, so I'm like, and the thing is, I paid up front, so instead, and they haven't said this is why, but they sent me an email today saying, okay, we're going to add 3 months to your membership. I saw somebody else on Twitter who's in a Group 2 cinema, and they've said, and I'm in a Group 1 cinema, and they've said to them, we're going to add a month onto your membership. And then I'm assuming 3 and 4, they just don't add anything. And I'm convinced it's to do with local competition. In the end of the day,
you've got 4 other cinemas in.
Yeah, four of the cinemas within like a quarter of an hour. What is it? And then you've got like Hull, for instance, has less cinemas than York, and theirs is Group 1.
I don't think it can be that. We've got plenty of cinema competition. The only thing I could think of was maybe it's facilities based. Like we've got a Screen X, an IMAX, and a VIP.
You haven't done a Screen X, have we?
No.
The thing is, the competition around, what is the price competition like? Just because my Cineworld, the tickets were like £5, £6 all the time to compete with the cinemas around. So it's like you might have competition, but are they all still charging?
Views are $4.99.
Okay, views are okay. That's bizarre. Then.
And views. It's a big view as well.
If you're a normal person, even if you see film a week, they're pretty much equivalent, and most people don't. So where's the incentive to be a member?
The thing is, I don't have a problem. I think my £18.40, which I just round up to 20 quid in my brain. My 20 quid, I'm happy to pay my 20 quid because I think I get my 20 quid's worth of use out of it.
Yeah, well, we've got to see more than 4 movies a month, don't we, sir?
It's just, it seems like such an odd move from Cineworld to just do this and go, these are the new groups. There we go. These are the new charges. but to give no context as to why.
Because the why, I reckon, is just what can we get away with
Yes.
in each area.
That's it.
And they're not going to want to say that, are they?
Well, no, but it just points more back to Cineworld just being
shit
bad
Yeah.
at this kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is it, because I'd even understand it if like the cheaper ones were the ones with fuck all screens. If you were like, okay, it's £10 a month, but it's only a 5-screener, so yeah, you'll see the big films, but you won't see anything else. But my one is fucking 15 screens. It's basically, if anything gets, like, I'd say 50 screens in the UK plus, my one shows it. You know what I mean? It doesn't. It's baffling. And the thing is, I chose Cineworld over Odeon because Odeon's like general wants to show smaller films is a lot less than Cineworld. But I don't know, like Odeon at the moment, Limitless, you sign up now, it's $9.99 a month until September. And okay, like at the end of September, it goes back up to nearly 20 quid a month. But if you were in an area with a Cineworld and they were charging, even if it was like the 15 a month, like the Group 2 one, it'd be like, fuck that, I'll just go for Odeon for a few months, you know. And it's like, Cineworld can't say, well, the quality of our presentation is better or anything like that. If anything, it feels like if they're going to charge people less, they're probably going to have less staff or something as well. I mean, that's a big concern for me going forward, is how are they going to differentiate themselves from just watching something at home? You know, like people have had about 15 months of basically just watching things at home and getting used to and expecting to be able to watch things at home. And you can go, well, the screens are big. Cool. What else have you got for me? You know, like, and thankfully it seems like filmmakers are going to be taking that seriously. I just hope from a technical point of view, the fucking cinemas do as well. I'm worried they won't.
I just think that it's such an odd move from Cineworld. And I get the idea by it is that I totally get the business acumen idea. Cineworld as a company and their parent company are in financial trouble. They are carrying an awful lot of debt, and it is an obscene amount of debt. And they were in trouble before pandemic hit. And the only reason why it's not kind of caught up with them is that essentially credit lenders have had to go, right, we're going to suspend the credit essentially refreshes every 6 months because of the pandemic. Once they reopen, then that kicks back in. And they need to keep that AAA credit rating. To do that, they essentially bet against their own subscriptions.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. It's based on amount of subscriptions that they have. And it is, look, we can borrow this amount of money because we can show you we're going to have this much money coming in each month for the next 6 months. And then it rolls on. They might have had in the past 6 months just so many people go, fuck it, now I'll just cancel and then I'll reapply once it reopens. And so then their subscription numbers could be absolutely rock bottom and they want to boost it up. And so they're going, right, it may be something as simple as catchment areas. And it might be, look, all these Group 1s have got a big catchment of it. And we need to grasp that back again.
I think, like I said to you before, I think it's more that they're trying to guard themselves against people cancelling. You know, you look at it, we pay, like you say, mentally you round it up. So we pay 40 quid a month. If you've got used to not paying that 40 quid a month and you're looking at it going, well, there's not much showing and I don't really feel super comfortable going and sitting in a cinema. Nah, I'd rather have that 40 quid cheers. Now that it's going to start kicking in that you have to pay again, you're more likely to cancel, whereas people will have just let it stick around for the last however long because they weren't paying it anyway. Now that it's going to be chargeable again, they might think of cancelling it, whereas if it's 20 quid for 2 people...
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if people are in like the $9.99, they will get emails saying, that left saying, "Oh, we're sorry you left. Did you know it's now only $9.99 a month to come
Yeah.
back?"
Yeah.
And then that will, the minute somebody posts that, like an image of that kind of what is it, you'll get people in the 1841 going, "Hang on a fucking minute."
I don't know. And it's like, are they going to up the surcharges for like Super Screen and things like that? You know, like, is that a way that they're going to they're going to make extra money?
Quite
Like,
rightly so. You'd look at that, but quite rightly so. The next time I go to get an IMAX ticket, my thing there will be, right, so I have to pay an extra, what is it, £2?
That's more than that, I think.
£4?
Something like that, yeah.
£4, let's say, for the what is it? Mine will be, but hang on a minute, I'm already paying 40% more than a lot of people, and they have to pay the same £4. You're opening yourself up to a lot of people going, right, but what else am I getting?
That's it, nothing.
For the extra. And it's if they turned and went, oh, group threes, you'll get an extra you'll get 2 IMAX tickets a month as well.
Yeah.
I could maybe then go, do you know what? Fair enough. That's that's the extra, and I could maybe sing that. But you've taken something from being a level playing field for everybody. And if people say, oh, but you could go and see something in other cinemas, it's like, oh, I don't need to though.
No, exactly.
I don't. It's of barely any fucking use to me. It does feel a little bit.
That's it. What are we getting for our extra £8.41 a month?
Yeah, it's a really odd one.
yeah, it's
I don't get it. I feel a little bit like I have a bit of a right to be asking the question of, seriously though, Cineworld, what extra am I getting?
Thing is, as well, it'd cost them nothing really to give you 2 free IMAXs a month.
Yeah.
Because they're never full.
Oh no.
It's not like they'd be losing out on a paying customer.
No. I don't. The thing is that I would love them just to have explained it and even have something where I can go, right, fair enough, I've explained it. I don't agree with it, but they've explained it. But it does.
Tweet them.
It's you get some fucking bullshit response from there.
it'll just be a standard response pointing you to their FAQ.
Yeah.
Like there's been loads of people tweeting them saying what the fuck. And the thing is, I mean, like, I sound like I'm complaining and whatnot, and it's like my position. I worked it out. I'm not going to be charged anything until fucking February, and then it's going to be a tenner a month. You know, it's folks like you who I feel bad for, because it's just like I just don't get it. I don't get why that it's you're not paying any more, but it's just the fact that I would be paying so much fucking less. It's baffling.
The thing that I don't get is, why not? If it's anything to do with the whole, and I don't think it is anything to do with the being able to go and see it in different cinemas, right? Then just reduce the whole thing to £15.
Yeah.
One cinema only.
And you specify a cinema, and then you get 50% off
if you go to
every other Cineworld cinema.
Yeah.
Bang. Everybody's happy. Nobody complains. Everyone's in the same boat.
Or like specify a cinema, offer a discount, and say, and you can change your home cinema once a month.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's such a. I just don't get it.
No, it's daft.
Yeah. I feel like I might ask the Cineworld manager when we go the first time we go, what is it? In a nice way. I don't know what is it, but just out of curiosity, what extra am I getting? And then just to see them go, to see what they've been told, because they will have been told, you need to say this when you get asked this.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit unfair though, because they've got no.
No, they have no part in it.
Making, and they're gonna have to be on the front line.
Oh no, but not in a nasty way.
No, but other people might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what party line they've been told to tell people.
Or to see how quickly the subscription rates in certain things might just go. Phew.
I tell you what's real fucking interesting as well. On their app, they're still showing Godzilla vs Kong, Judas and the Black Messiah, Tom and Jerry, like the films that have already been on premium video on demand. Black Widow.
Yeah, I feel like the app though has just been massively neglected, and they've probably just not updated it.
Right.
The only thing that's changed on there is that they've put that test one on. That's it through the whole of lockdown.
Oh no! They've added a Bollywood film to it.
Oh yeah, Radhi, the most wanted by.
Yeah.
My one thing there, just to like, they've got a release date on Judas and the Black Messiah on here as the 19th. That's very, very random, like to suddenly have that. Black Widow 9th of July, which is the date it's coming out.
Mortal Kombat release date 17th of the 5th.
Nice.
So, but my point on that, so their whole, we're not going to show things that have been released in other formats previously, slightly gone. And the fact that Black Widow, which is day and date with Disney Plus, they're still showing that and Cruella on the app. They've relented.
A random one on here. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, nice.
17th the 5th.
Oh god, 4DX Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I might have to do that. Oh god, I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me. Even though, to be fair, they've got Connected on here still, and that was renamed The Mitchells versus the Machines that we reviewed last week. So, no, I think it's going to be interesting to see how, to see what the fuck they're actually doing. We'll see. And it's just the whole will be open in England. For fuck's sake. Like,
yeah, that's them. That's very specifically them not saying they're opening in Scotland and not saying they're opening in Wales.
And again, it's going to be because the governments haven't actually formally announced. The Welsh government isn't going to formally announce until Friday. Showcase have had listings up for the last week.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes back to what you're saying, Mark. It feels like the way they treated the employees right at the start of all this has really bitten them on the fucking arse, and they just don't really have the people and the fact that they closed like months before the other cinemas did. It feels like they just don't have the people, and that they're having to rehire.
Yeah, there's a little bit, I think, of there's nobody. It seems to be in the room that these people sit in to make these decisions. There's nobody there to say to them, right, how does this look, though? And how is this for our customer experience? And it just seems like they just do not. And again, I'm saying the management, the upper management, not the cinema staff. Because our experience has always been great. The cinema is great, has its issues. The fact that its copy machine still has never worked from day one, and it's a brand new cinema is weird. Yeah. They don't seem to be able to have somebody to go, right, we should maybe get listings out. No, let's wait. Like, no, everybody else is. This is why people will book with them and not with us. We can always, if the government say, right, no, we're delaying it, we can go, look, we wanted to. But it might literally just be because they don't want to bring the tech guys back off furlough.
Wow.
That, honestly, that's the kind of impression that they're giving.
Yeah,
it is. Now they've said, it's not going to be open until Wednesday. You probably won't even have show times until the end of the week.
No, I would be surprised if we have show times before Thursday.
Yeah. At this,
show times before Monday.
When realistically, what they fucking should have done is had them ready to fucking go. Even if they were opening the Wednesday, they should have had those fucking listings set, ready to go, so the minute it was announced cinemas are going to reopen, they could go, bang, cinemas are back. To put out a tweet saying, we're reopening on Wednesday, please check back for listings. No, you should have gone, we're reopening Wednesday, here's your fucking listings.
Not being ready to go at 6 o'clock tonight after the announcement.
And the fact that they're not is just bad management. There's no getting away from it. There's no getting around it. It's bad management.
I mean, the thing is, if Odeon come out now with the listings and they've got Spiral in IMAX, I'll get a Limitless for the minimum 3-month term, $9.99 a month. Fuck it. Go on then. Parking's free. That almost pays.
You could go 30 quid, bang, fuck it.
You know, in the end of the day, like, I'd be paying at Cineworld, I'll be paying about £4 for parking a pop. Like, if not more, if I do a double bill. The fucking Odeon, I see 2 films and my parking's free. I've literally paid for it in itself anyway.
Yep, there you fucking go.
It ridiculous. But anyway, that's the griping done. Just, it's like they don't want to open. Like, it's so weird. You know, like the showcase. I will give them some patronage throughout all of it. Like, just how close they are, it's really useful for me. But they, even when, like, the previous times, they were fucking open whenever the fuck they could open. Like, after the Firebreak lockdown that we had in October, they were open again as soon as they fucking could be. I had to cancel my showing of the Exorcist around Halloween. They gave me 2 free fucking tickets for when they were open again. And, you know, I managed to watch Die Hard on the big screen there. And, you know, they just did everything they fucking could to open. They had their listings up as soon as they fucking could. You know, Cineworld, it's like, oh God, do we have to?
Yeah, it is a little bit like that. It's almost like they're happy to be closed because then at least they don't have to. They don't have to do shit.
Yeah. They've not covered themselves in glory with all of this, but unfortunately they are cheap.
Yeah, that's it. The issue is, if we had an Odeon in York, which we did used to, but it closed, and is now an Everyman, then I would probably look into the possibility of switching. But then again, the sheer level of convenience for me for the Cineworld is brilliant because it takes me if the film starts and the listing time is 6:10, we can set off at 6:05 and be there for 6:10.
Yeah, it's my only thing that gives me pause is, yes, the Cineworld has a wider choice of films, but the Odeon's got the IMAX, and I want to fucking rag the shit out of IMAX going forward. I want to see anything I can in, even if it's Limax, because it's big and it's got that aspect ratio shit going on. You know,
I'm very much looking forward to the first Cineworld Unlimited screening being something that's already been on Sky fucking Cinema.
Oh God, can you imagine? I reckon the first Cineworld Unlimited, I'm just putting, it's going to be The Father.
I'm going to go for a different one. I think it's going to be Tom and Jerry.
What? But it's a film that hasn't been able to be viewed yet.
but I'm just saying, I could see them just doing like shit that's already been on.
Oh God, don't. But it's been negative. It's because Cineworld are managed by fucking idiots apparently. But you know, I mean, in a week's time, I will likely be in the cinema. In a week's time, Mark, I really fucking hope has been in the cinema, but Becky's going to do everything she can to not have that happen.
In a week's time, I'll be sat in a hot tub. I won't give a shit what Mark's done with his day.
There you go. Anyway, that's it. That
Literally
feels like
this
film
time next
news,
week,
though.
actually, we'll be getting ready to leave the cabin and go and have our first in-restaurant meal.
Yes.
Oh God, what a treat that is! You see, that's ruined. That's ruined my plan for next week as well. Where I was going to go to the Cineworld, watch a film, walk up to the KFC, have my first fucking Colonel's meal for one in I don't know how long, and then go watch another film. Now I can't fucking do that.
I did look at the replies to the Cineworld thing, and there's so many people saying, "Fucking great! Now I've got to ask my boss if I can switch my day off to Wednesday now."
I mean, in all seriousness, it is things like that though.
It's
like, we'll be open. I swear they were tweeting people saying, yeah, we'll be open from the 17th as long as the government guidance allows it. It's like, nah, the 19th.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if staff find that out like tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, fuck me. Anyway, well done, Odeon. I think you've probably got a Limitless member. But you know, if I was paying monthly for Cineworld, would I be doing that? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. It's, you know, that's a passive thing. I've already paid for the fucking thing. Anyway, do you know what else is coming to the cinema?
Go on.
Oh, Venom: Let There Be Carnage is coming to the cinema.
You very much like this trailer, didn't you?
Oh my God! Right. Very, very, very glad that Sony held the line and were like, no, Venom Let There Be Carnage must be seen in cinemas. Yeah. I'm so like, seeing this probably on opening day is going to be a riot, I think. They are leaning in to Tom Hardy in that restaurant energy.
Yeah.
With Let There Be Carnage. I did not expect to, like, the start of this trailer to be like Venom cooking a really sloppy breakfast or dinner.
A really energetic breakfast whilst Tom Hardy is just stood there, just seeming like he's just fed up of all this.
Yeah. Brilliant. So if it is literally gonna be, it starts that Tom Hardy is just fucking miserable that he has to live with Venom because he's just like this sloppy bitch. Brilliant. I laughed several times, and I will say it is the superhero film I am most looking forward to this for the rest of this year. Suicide Squad, very close second, but Venom, the sloppy bitch, he's got my interest. What did you guys think?
I think I'm with you on that, in the sense of I'm a little bit worried about Suicide Squad. In the sense that I think that James Gunn walks a bit of a tightrope, and so far he's managed to stay balanced on it. Looking at Suicide Squad, I'm looking at going, I don't know whether this might be the point of where it runs out a little bit. I'm hoping it's not, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But I just think that there might be a little bit he's throwing too much at it. And the problem is some of the bits that might stick are just going to disappear straight away.
It does, yeah. It looks like
Black Widow feels like a movie I've already seen, so I don't need to watch it.
No.
Everything I'm seeing about it, I'm looking at it going, so this it feels a little bit like they had the series ready to go and then decided to just chop it down to a fucking 100-minute movie instead. And what is it? Shang-Chi is the other one. I'm still not convinced.
You're not impressed with that?
No, I'm not. But Venom, Let There Be Carnage, yeah, all right. All right, just, you know, Venom threatening to eat people who are pissing him off. Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Fair enough.
Did you watch it?
I know, it only came out 4 hours ago. I've been at work.
All right.
Some of us work, Mark, full days, right to the end of the day.
Did anyone get any other trailers?
Yeah, I mean, the trailer for Fatherhood.
I
Kevin
haven't seen
Hart.
it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it goes. It looks weirdly kind of like 90s feeling. You know, like what was that fucking one where was it Richard E. Grant's wife died and then he had to bring up the kid? The fuck was that called back in the day?
I think I remember what you're on about, actually. Bear with me.
It's because it's not Marley and Me. Oh, that's a film I'll never watch, incidentally. But fucking, I swear it's something and something. Oh, that's gonna do my nut. This. It's Jack and Sarah.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh yeah.
Jack and Sarah. That's the one. Yeah. So what was the? Yeah, Jack and Sarah are expectant parents. Blah blah blah. Yeah, waits to find in hospital to find that Sarah died after giving birth to their daughter. Grief-stricken, Jack rejects fatherhood. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, so it kind of feels like a.
Yeah, I saw that. At least
Yeah.
I forgot it existed until you said it just then, but I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it as well, and you know, I don't know. It feels very. There's nothing big about this. It's about a father and his daughter. It's quite small scale. There's going to be some laughs. There's going to be some tears. And yeah, you know, I'll watch it. Probably more for it being on Netflix than anything else. I'm not entirely sure I'd go to the cinema to see it unless it got good reviews. But it being on Netflix, yeah, I'll give it a pop. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to see fucking everything in the cinema going forward. But yeah, it looks all right. You know, if it's over 2 hours, I'll be worried.
One of those, yeah. It looks fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a free Tuesday. I will watch it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I there was a very very short new trailer for In the Heights, which was kind of centered around one of the songs in that. I will just say, Warner Brothers must be cursing the day that they spoke to those experts who were like, yeah, pandemic's going to last all of 2021. Like, yeah, just put all your stuff on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to release anything. Touch wood, you know, we're not halfway through the year and it's like, right, we're fine. It's okay. You know, the vaccine. I do slightly wonder whether if Biden was or if not Trump was in the White House pre-November, whether they would have given that guidance or whether things might have been going a bit better.
Yeah, there is that element of it.
Yeah.
The world has moved a long way in a weird amount of time.
Doesn't that kind of almost feel like a bit of a bad dream at this point? I mean, I'm sure he'll rear his head again, but fuck me, that social media. He will. Social media.
Think he will.
He's got a blog now.
I just think that there's just so little attention now, and the attention that he's feeding off is just it's that thing of he's only getting the oxygen that's blowing his way.
Yeah.
And so there's that, and I think it's just gonna end up blowing itself out. And it's nice that it's just not there anymore. It's a thing that no one has to worry about.
Did you see that there was a Twitter account that was posting excerpts from his blog posts, which absolutely definitely had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It definitely wasn't run by anyone to do with him, definitely. But it just posted bits out of his blog posts, and it's got suspended.
Good. Fucking brilliant. Good for you, Twitter. I mean, to be fair, it's only because they knew which way the wind was blowing. But but hey, yeah, okay. So, but yeah, and my point with that, In the Heights, if that wasn't going to be on HBO Max in the US, I think would clear $100 million absolutely fucking no problem.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe even 200. I mean, 100 may be low. 200. That thing now is going to be an absolute fucking rocket at the box office, I think. And in territories where it's not going to be on HBO Max, so most of the world, I think that film is going to do very, very, very well. A big, celebratory, lots of people dancing, nice weather, like summer film. I've already said that I really can't wait for In the Heights, and I can't. I want to see that as big and loud as possible. And I don't know, out of the summer corridor films, I'm actually starting to think it might be my most anticipated.
That's fair. I could see that, certainly.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know I mentioned it before, but the In the Heights, In the Earth double bill I'm going to do is going to be fucking historic. I can't wait.
There's early reviews coming out of that, isn't there?
What?
In the Heights.
In the Earth.
Oh, In the Earth, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it came out in the US a couple of weeks back, but I think it might be on the internets. Maybe. I have maybe I have maybe partaken in on the internet's films over the last little while, but I will say that In the Earth is one that I want to say see big and loud. But yes, and I wonder whether not seeing it big and loud maybe differs the experience. But anyway, In the Heights, cannot fucking wait. Really, really looking forward to it. All I want is an Oscars next. I mean, we haven't really talked about the Oscars much since the Oscars, but a lot of people were criticizing it for not being particularly entertaining. And it's like, I kind of get that. It would be nice if next year's Oscars was big and splashy and maybe didn't. I mean, maybe it's just the world, but it would be nice if the speeches didn't have to be as getting on a sandbox as they have tendency to be. And I think next year's Oscars, I mean, I think this year's Oscars should have been, but next year's Oscars need to be about fucking hell. Movies are big and loud and sexy, and everybody's just, it's entertainment, and
you're not watching something where every 8 minutes you're about to be told off.
Yeah, quite. And I mean, like Soderbergh said that he was making that Oscar ceremony for the people in the room, and it was like, yeah, and you can tell. That I mean, that opening shot fucking ruled.
Yeah, I will say this. I liked the Oscars. You made a very good point, Becky.
Did I?
Yeah, about the Oscars.
It doesn't happen often.
I liked the Oscars. It felt breezy. I liked the fact that we didn't have any skits in it or anything like that, because they're shit. No matter what, the skits are shit.
Yep.
And when you have the songs bits where you have the songs on, I would prefer to have that. Yeah. But then what they've done previous years is they've had shortened versions of the songs,
what's the point?
So that they can have skits. Stop with the skits. The Oscars isn't Saturday Night Live, and Saturday Night Live is shit anyway.
Yeah.
So just have it be about the films. And the Oscars was running great. It was really entertaining. It was fun. The speeches that they weren't, with the way that they were done, yeah, they felt like people being able to talk to it. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It did feel like they were talking to the room and the world as a secondary. But yeah, the first moment where it literally went downhill, was when you had
Cursed Glenn Close.
Glenn Close doing a pre-rehearsed skit.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, at that moment, it was where it
all went to shit.
It just went downhill after that.
It was that, then Best Picture being out of order, and then Chadwick Boseman not winning. It was just a shit show.
It was literally, it was
Frances
bad.
McDormand being an absolute C word.
Yeah, and literally, like, Joaquin Phoenix coming out and almost going, wait, what? Wait, you've done Best Picture already? And the winner is, oh shit.
Yeah.
You could almost hear it.
If you're going to move the award that's always been at the end to not at the end because you want to do a tribute to an actor who's passed away, make sure they fucking won.
Yeah, and then all people...
And check just that one.
Yeah, all people jumping on Anthony Hopkins saying, well, Hopkins couldn't even be bothered to turn up. It's like, no.
He's a million years old.
The Academy told him he wasn't allowed to appear via Zoom from his house.
Yeah. No, he should have gone to... What? No.
What?
Travel restrictions, you dickhead.
He should have travelled out of the country to London.
Yeah.
It's not up the road.
No. All a bit mental, isn't it? I do feel a bit sorry for him, to be fair, because he doesn't look like Oscar winner Anthony Hopkins. He doesn't look like he's pleased to have won it in the video. Like, I think he's pleased to have won it and be honoured. But, you know, and that kind of thing. Like, he's grateful for it, but he looks like even he thinks, I probably shouldn't have got this.
Yeah, like, he's almost a bit like, am I always going to be... Anthony Hopkins won it for the father, but, you know, Chadwick Boseman should have won it for... What is it?
But he shouldn't have won it. Like, not on an acting level. Anthony Hopkins' performance was better.
I will agree with that, not to denigrate.
No, it's not Chadwick Boseman's best performance either.
No, I actually think he was better in...
But it would have been a nice thing to do.
In the Five Bloods.
Yeah.
It's the fact that his widow was there.
Yeah, and his
waiting
kids.
to give a fucking speech. And it's a bit like, surely someone from PricewaterhouseCoopers could have said to her, I can't tell you who's won, but he's not won.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not exactly like, do you want to go home so you don't have to be here for this? You know, but who knows what happened? But I mean, it's... Yeah, what a fucking catastrophe that was.
But up to that point, it was a lot of fun.
But then they really did not stick the landing.
They did not stick the landing, no. In true Soderbergh form.
Just everything from when Best Picture wasn't last and on.
No, everything from Glenn Close. Glenn Close cursed it. Glenn Close doing a booty dance cursed the Oscars.
I think that was after, mind.
No,
it was before.
Before what?
Was that before? Oh, in that
before
case,
they announced that Best Picture wasn't last. It was just before.
It was just before that.
It was literally the last thing before they announced that Best Picture was third from last.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Fair enough. What happened? Something looked down from up on high and went, no, sorry, no, you don't. No, you don't deserve anything that you want out of the rest of this ceremony. You fucked it.
I'm gonna make Frances McDormand genuinely look like she was pissed off to have won Best Actress again. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what? I've lost any respect that I had for her. I've liked Frances McDormand since, I think you showed me Fargo back when we first started seeing each other. I've really liked Frances McDormand, and any respect that I had for her has gone after her, the way that she reacted to that. How fucking disrespectful.
Probably our feelings on this.
I know, but it still makes me angry.
And
that one shot when she's walking down and she like flaps her hand at someone who's clearly like put their hands out to go, oh, congratulations. She just flaps her hands at them. It's just like, get a grip, woman. There's 4 other women there that would have loved to be in your position.
Yeah, I mean, that's it though, isn't it? And it feels like that's been under talked about because people like Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
But if you've got to, it's like, I hope she never. I hope she doesn't win one again because it's going to be taking it away from someone who cares, which was last time. Can you imagine if Viola Davis won that? That would have been, I mean, or Kerry Mulligan for fuck's sake, you know,
Yep.
like, but they all look like they gave a fuck apart from her. And oh god. Anyway, next year's Oscars, I agree about no skits, but they need some musical and dance sequences. Let's fucking get that going.
They should bring back the really big musical performances that they used to do at the Oscars, where it was it was a whole thing. Like the whole song got done. There was like a performance. The stage was dressed for it. It was like a bit, and now it's just like, even like prior to this year, it's just like 30 seconds to a minute of a song sung not in costume, often not by the people who performed it for the recording. Shit, it's like, it's a real downer.
The minute you offer an award to something where you say this is going to get an award for its existence and for its impact within a film, but you're only allowed to play a third of it, is immediately like, so hang on a minute, it's award worthy, but not
Screen time
worthy. Yeah. It all falls back to the fact that academies and things like this, associations and all these things, are run so fucking terribly because, and I'm going to say it, they're predominantly run by elderly white males who do not give a shit about the product that they are making money off.
Yeah.
They care about the money that is there.
Like, you think about it, like, I know we're harping back a little bit here, but imagine what kind of stage show and what kind of spectacle they could have made out of The Greatest Showman being nominated for Best Musical Number. They could have made that amazing. In the Heights, if that gets nominated, they could make that, dress it like the street dressing in the film, get everyone in costume, make a whole big thing of it. Yep. But they won't.
No.
West Side Story.
But they will happily.
Oh, it's such an exciting year, actually.
But they will happily have fucking Ellen running to a theatre next door.
Yeah.
And it's like when everybody's watching it going, this is boring.
To give out bloody popcorn or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
No, go on.
I was listening to the Little Gold Men podcast a couple of weeks back, and they were saying that what needs to happen at the Oscars is it needs to start with a Jets versus Sharks dance sequence, but it's West Side Story versus In the Heights.
The thing is, it needs to get the ridiculousness back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs to take 10% of the Golden Globes ridiculousness off it.
They're now seemingly cancelled Golden Globes. Have you seen that as well?
Which is very good news for people who like movies.
Yeah, just fair fucking play. Like, so just for context, I think Netflix and Amazon and a bunch of other studios have basically said, we're not going to fucking interact with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, the people behind the Golden Globes, until the reform that you guys say you badly need to do actually happens.
Yeah.
So to remind, there are no black people in the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. What the fuck?
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on because we have something very important to talk about. City of Lies is directed by Brad Furman and stars Johnny Depp, Forrest Whitaker, Shea Wiggum, Xander Berkeley, and a bunch of other folks. And City of Lies.
There are a lot of character actors turning up in this, isn't there?
Yes, yeah, there really, really, really are. Like Shea Wiggum, I was like, what the fuck's he doing in this? Like, it's just, yeah. So, the IMDb plot synopsis: Russell Poole and Jack Jackson investigate the murders of rappers Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. Yeah, I suppose.
The thing is, it kind of is and isn't that.
Yeah.
It's go. Sorry, I'll let you carry on, and I'll come at this in a second.
No, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, okay, so like I said earlier on, I kind of feel like this is potential Mark Nip. You know, it's like men being good at their jobs, and it's about the West Coast East Coast beef, which I feel like is something that Mark is interested in. So I will phrase my question as, was this Mark Nip?
Yes, because the thing is, the problem. There's a good point and a bad point to this. The problem is, the film is marketed as a the investigation into Tupac and Biggie's murders, but it's not. For a start off, the Tupac thing is not in existence with it. It's
no, it's a preemptive thing, isn't it?
Yeah. The film is actually a look back into the Rampart scandal in LA in the mid and late 90s. And it actually deals with a lot more of that element of it than it does any of the Christopher Wallace stuff. There's not that much about the investigations into that. And it seems like the filmmakers have latched onto that to try and market it slightly different to what is it. And then at the same time sneak in the fact that we're actually in the investigation of Notorious B.I.G.'s murder, accidentally the Rampart scandal was uncovered during it, and it almost seems like that is actually a more entertaining way and a more intriguing way to have marketed this movie.
Yeah, but come on, who's gonna get excited for a police procedural about police corruption?
But you could have framed it as the murders of Notorious B.I.G. accidentally uncovered the greatest scandals in American police force history.
Yeah.
And it is fascinating because for later on the line, I've never been a Notorious B.I.G. fan. I was very much Team Tupac. And part of that is because there was more mystique and a little bit more weird kind of danger to Tupac that was there. His father was one of the family members of the Black Panthers. His mother was still very involved with that. He'd recently been released from prison. He also very intelligent, and his music, yes, he had the standard rap crassness to it all, but he also was trying to present across a message about the way that black culture was being used in America at that time, the way that rap culture was being used as its own weapon against itself, whilst also himself saying, look, I'm a fucking bigger part of this. I'm a hypocrite in all of this. Whereas Notorious B.I.G. was, and the film makes a point of this, his was more about the smoothness of it, and he was like a naughty Will Smith. And it was a little bit like that. And that's not to denigrate the guy at all. His music is very good. It's just not my flow. But then you've got this, in all of this, you've got fucking Shea Wiggum and, Johnny Depp in one of his best performances of the past decade. And Forrest Whitaker being just, whenever you see Forrest Whitaker in something like this, you are watching it going, I don't think we appreciate Forrest Whitaker anywhere fucking near enough as we should. And as a police procedural film, it's really good at points.
Yeah.
It's really entertaining, and it's really gripping, and it's really enthralling as he's essentially walking you through it. Johnny Depp's character is walking you through going, look, and he's saying, I have my theories. The film directly asks him, who killed Biggie? And he's like, I don't know. I had a theory. I had all of these, but I would never find out. I think it's this guy, but I can't prove it because at every point I was stopped. And then at the end of it all, when I'd hit a point where it looked like I was about to crack the fucking code, they essentially threw somebody under the bus about it.
Yeah.
And it was almost like the PR people got involved and went, this is easier to absorb than this. The LA police is corrupt is easier than the LA police force might have killed Biggie. And so there's that. However, there is some fucking just odd editing in this movie. Some really odd editing whereby you watch it going, what? Wait, what? He was just stood there a second ago. Why is he there and then saying this? And it's so odd at points. I do get the feeling like there is a really, really like fucking 5-star movie in there somewhere. But it's not quite come out. I'm fascinated to see what you guys think. Because I do think this is more my wheelhouse than you guys.
I mean, I love a police procedural. I love like investigation movies. I find them really interesting. And as that, this is really good. I think Johnny Depp is great in it. Like, really back to form, good in this movie. You know, take his personal life out of the picture. He's really fucking good in this.
Because at no point is he trying to. He's not showing off.
It's him acting rather than pantomiming, which is what he's been doing for the last God knows how long. It's just him being a really good actor and showing that he can remember how to do it. So that was a really like refreshing thing. I was kind of dreading watching it because of the Johnny Depp element, and he does do some of the kind of like a lower key version of the mugging that he does in Fear and Loathing. He has very much developed a habit since that movie of doing strange movements with his head and being a bit like.
But there's a moment in it where I think it's after he's after him and Forrest Whitaker are walking around like a market after they've been to the what is it? I think there's a moment where he's explaining things like that, and there's a moment where they come out just after that, and he's having a conversation with Forrest Whitaker about why he believes that why he got obsessed with it, and he keeps breaking out into a smile, and it's an acting smile. He's purposely doing it, and it's almost like he's explaining in a roundabout way the reasons why he became a police officer and why what is it, and the character it's based on became a police officer because his father was a county sheriff and he wanted to go and he wanted to do that. And at that point, I was watching it going, that is the fucking Johnny Depp we should be getting now. That is the Johnny Depp we should have had for the past 20 years that we've not had.
It's one moment, probably my favourite moment in the movie, actually. It's so small, but the bit where he tells Forrest Whitaker the name of this person that he thinks killed him. He goes off and he's like, I've got the name of the killer. And then the other guy like Googles it and it's MC Hammer. And he meets him afterwards and he says, MC Hammer, really? And they both just like crack up and it's so natural such a like warm moment between them because they're kind of butt heads, don't they? But they're working together because I think Johnny Depp's character is just really happy to have someone that will fucking listen to him about it again. But yeah, that moment just it was like you say, this film feels like that's the Johnny Depp we should be getting.
Yeah.
So as a police procedural, investigation, all that kind of stuff, really, really loved it.
Yeah, the scene with him and Toby, I'm saying this right, Toby. I'm getting this now. Yeah, Toby Huss. Let's get it right. I thought I was getting it wrong. With Toby Huss there, where he's essentially walking through the shooting with the cars and the model and everything like that. That was fantastic.
Yeah. the one downside of it for me, that you probably won't have picked up on because you do know the backstory, is there is quite a large amount of assumed knowledge about Death Row Records, about Biggie, about Tupac, and about that whole beef.
Yeah.
That if you don't know about it, which I don't, that you're a bit like, so who the fuck was that then? Cool. That guy was a thing. Awesome.
Yeah, I can see that.
But because that's not really what the film's about, it's not really about these people. It's about the obsession and the investigation, how it plays out, and the brick walls that he comes up against as part of that investigation. It doesn't matter too much. It doesn't ruin the movie. I think the movie would be enhanced for me by knowing more.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good point, Bex. It's got the whole kind of East Coast, West Coast thing. It's got a bit of archive footage and whatnot towards the start of the film, but there's not really an awful lot there. But yeah, I think that is definitely a fault of the film. But like you said, it plays the thing that kind of surprised me about it, about just how much more of a character piece it is than I expected. And again, just like you said, the MC Hammer moment and the fact that it's not like Forrest Whitaker's like fucked off with him. It's just like, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, it was like, that was when the film clicked for me. And it was like, okay, I see, I get what this is now. And then from there on, I'm not going to say it was like film of the year or anything like that, but I will, given this is like latter day Johnny Depp, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, there is that element of.
I think we all expected it to be a bit shit, didn't we?
Yeah, because of the troubled release it's had. You kind of feel like that it was being held back, like something like Capone, sorry. That it's because it was
not good,
ropey.
Yeah,
but it's not.
No, it's not.
No, and I like, I think just everything that happened with Johnny Depp is the reason why this didn't come out. And I think, if that didn't happen, it would have been like, shit, this is actually a pretty serviceable performance by Johnny Depp. He feels like he's trying here. It's not, I mean, it's I don't know, it's kind of crazy, the fall from grace that he's had, but this feels like him trying to like further the more kind of Black Mass aspect of his later career.
Yeah, and Black Mass was good, but he was still, it still felt a bit like you've said there, Becky. It still felt a little bit pantomime, but I think Black Mass is actually a very good film.
Yeah, I mean, Black Mass is all right. I mean, it again, kind of more your wheelhouse, I think. But it's Johnny Depp just going. Yeah.
Sorry.
And it's it's all good. And it's Johnny Depp going like, look, I am an actor. I don't need to have $20 million to appear in a movie. If you're going to offer me $20 million, I'll fucking take it. But hey, I'll also be in this kind of two-hander with Forrest Whitaker about how shit the LA Police Department is as well. And I respect that. I mean, like it's that thing where you've got to separate the art from the artist. And quite frankly, if we don't separate the art from the artist, it feels like nobody's going to be able to enjoy anything in the future. So there is that aspect to it. But I'll say I thought he and Whitaker were really, really good together. I enjoyed my time with it. I don't think it was necessarily telling me anything I didn't already know. LA Police Department, corrupt. Really?
But we know that as a result of the events that this film is depicting. So like, I suppose before that you wouldn't have necessarily known.
Well, the thing is, the interesting bit I got from it was while I was watching it, I was very much sort of thinking, right, I don't get how they're going to link these two, because they're not actually anywhere near as linked as they are apart from street rumours. So is it going to be dealing with that? But then as they started to sort of pull out with things like the Kevin Gaines shoot, when that came into it, I thought, all right, that's fair enough. It happened quite closely to it. And then when they started putting out the DMAC bits into it, I thought, well, hang on a minute, these were both like prominent Rampart bits. Partially because I read a book about the whole Rampart thing.
You read a book?
I have read many books.
That's not
I have
true.
read 9 books.
9 whole books?
Yes. Not including the Spot Can Run ones either.
Oh, wow.
So fuck you. And so bits were coming in going, well, isn't that from this and that from that? And I was like, all right, oh, okay. This is fucking somewhat different. All right, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm pulling it round. I get the idea of changing, the fact that Johnny Depp's character is based on the real life detective, and they have repurposed Forrest Whitaker's character to make him a different person, we'll say. But the fact that it is more about their relationship and about them, the same incident essentially destroying both of their careers, because of the failings that they had with it. But was their failings, or was it just
they were too good at what they did, so they got
but then I said you also got the Forrest Whitaker just again proving how fucking great he is when he walks into the cafe and Johnny Depp's character is sat with Biggie's mum, who is played by Biggie's mum.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's Biggie's mum.
Okay.
For real.
For real.
And him walking in and just having the look, I'm sorry about this, but that's based on an actual thing that happened. That scene, the real journalist who wrote the article accusing Biggie of putting out the hit on Tupac did end up meeting
Mrs. Smalls.
Yes. Biggie's mum in a cafe with Russell Poole and didn't expect it, and basically she was very much like, look, you don't worry about it, you've said sorry. And it was like, oh fuck, I feel like such an ass. But that was again, like you say, you're just looking at it going, God, Forrest Whitaker's good, isn't he? That he can play vulnerability.
He's very understated, isn't he? I think
so well.
Yeah.
He's one of the few actors out there who has genuinely been delivering just brilliant performances for getting on for 40 years now.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think he's one of the few actors I don't get me wrong, he's been in bad films, but I don't think he's ever given a bad performance. Jesus Christ, he's in Bloodsport, and he's a great amount of fun in it.
I've got a TV show called Godfather of Harlem.
And I bet it's great. I will never watch it, but I bet it's brilliant.
A TV prequel to the 2007 film American Gangster.
I really want to watch that.
That sounds fucking great.
It does. Because American Gangster might be Ridley Scott's most underrated film.
There's a character called Bumpy Johnson.
Of course he does.
Yep.
Wouldn't he play Bumpy Johnson?
Yep.
I don't even know who he is.
Literally, that is somebody sat down and went, right, we need someone to play, but it's Forrest Whitaker, isn't it? Yeah, Forrest Whitaker. Everyone all right with that? Yeah, that's right. It's done. It's locked.
It is decided.
Yeah, it is. It's like when they went, right, we need someone to play Frank, like, it's Sheerwiggum, innit? It's Sheerwiggum. Yeah. It has to be.
Fair.
But yeah. Like you said in there, is it going to be top 10 film of the year? No. Is it going to be touching surprises? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's a solid 7 out of 10 for me in terms of it's a solid police procedural film.
Yeah.
With some really great bits in it.
Yeah.
And like I was saying to you, Bex, what I thought was brilliant was the fact that that his son doesn't get to say a fucking
You
thing.
loved that, didn't you?
I was genuinely, it was about to lose a star at the end when when he's back at the field and he's training. I was thinking, if he fucking turns round now and fucking talks to Forrest Whitaker and that twat gets to fucking speak, fucking losing a star for me.
Done.
Yeah, I was high on the energy of the fact that fucking guy, right, got got awarded, won the role for that film and was there going, holy shit, I'm gonna be in this movie that is about the murders of Biggie Smalls and Tupac and all the Rampart scandal, and it's got Forrest Whitaker and Johnny Depp in it, and then the producer then going, it's amazing, isn't it? But you are not allowed to fucking speak. Do not think that you're gonna fucking speak in this movie, you prick. You're gonna hit a fucking baseball and then fucking walk away. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got an extra star just because of that, because it didn't allow that man to speak.
That's fair.
I don't know why. If that man ever speaks in a movie, I will be annoyed. I don't know why.
Oh dear.
Definitely not shit.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit.
Our audience poll. Let's see if anybody knew this film was out. City of Lies. Come on. Definitely not shit 50% and shit 50%.
Nice.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Hunter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot.
I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I've ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in that's the third time though. I mean, is this on?
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that
Netflix.
doesn't make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise.
Beloved franchise.
A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television, with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
we have some breaking news.
Oh, go on.
So, NBC have announced that they will not be airing the Golden Globes next year.
Ooh.
Due to the ongoing controversy. And Tom Cruise has sent back his 3 Golden Globes.
Wow.
It's a pretty baller move, to be fair. Just reminding everyone, I've got 3 of these, but yeah.
Right, I need to see what they're for now. Magnolia was one of them, wasn't it?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Born on the 4th of July?
Could be, yeah.
Did either of you see the photo that was kind of doing the rounds on Twitter earlier today of Tom Cruise with Michael Mann shooting a shot for Collateral?
Collateral, yeah.
It was really good.
His Golden Globes were Magnolia, Jerry Maguire, and Born on the 4th of July.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, thing is, it kind of seems like that, like the Golden Globes just isn't going to happen next year at this rate. Like NBC, I mean, like Jesus Christ, they wouldn't have to be until like January next year, and they've already said they're not going to air them because the HFPA need more time to enact the things they've said they want to enact. It's just like that just sounds like it's fucking broken. So yeah, that kind of feels like, is it even going to be a thing going forward?
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone will particularly care either. You know, it really feels like that will be no great loss.
No one fucking give a shit.
You know, I don't know. And if it meant that the Oscars was maybe a little bit earlier every year, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either, to be fair. God, the fucking the Oscars are going to come around so quick this time round. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Normally Cannes would be, I think, this week. You know, and then it's only a hop, skip, and a jump, and you got Venice and Telluride and whatnot. You know, I mean, they're about 3.5 months away, and then it's going to be award season again. But touch wood, we should get a proper award season this year. I don't know. It'd be nice to see some to talk about some new films though. To be fair, you know, that Coda, which I want to say played Sundance and was already being tipped, bought by Apple TV. That's going to be on Apple in August.
Yeah.
So you know, this stuff just keeps on rumbling on. It just keeps on rumbling on. So, what's Becky just sent? Becky's just sent something.
No, it's nothing film related.
Oh, no. Yeah. All right. Just to say, whoever fucking modded Barney the Dinosaur into Resident Evil Village is an absolute fucking genius.
The thing is...
Can you imagine how terrifying that would be?
The thing is, it's the perfect level of being very, very talented, but also very stoned.
Yeah.
It's that one on the left that's just looking up that gets me. Like that one just looks like it's having a great time. It's just oh wow Anyway, fucking hell. Right, Doomsday is directed by Neil Marshall and stars Radha Mitchell, Malcolm McDowell, Bob Hoskins, Alexander Siddig, I remember, is in it. I'm doing this from memory.
Okay, so just to clarify, it's got Rona Mitra in it, not Radha Mitchell.
Right, yeah, that one. The other RM.
Yeah.
Is she a bad mother as well?
No, she's all right.
Okay.
That's
not,
right.
Just to clarify as well, I'm not calling Radha Mitchell a bad mother. I'm saying that she always plays bad mothers in things.
She had like a 2-year period where she was in like 4 movies where she just played a bad mom.
She's a really irresponsible mother.
She's got big I hate my kid energy.
Yeah, I think Rona Mitra would have that as well, but
yeah.
No kids involved. She's got some quite good hair in this though. I was getting hair envy. Sorry, carry on, Ian.
No, it's all good. So my triple pack of Doomsday, Wanted, and Death Race has arrived. I'm so sorry. I completely blanked on watching the fucking thing until I saw the poll today. It was like, I'm literally in work and then podcasting like an hour later. I can't do it. So I'm ever so sorry, but Doomsday, how was this rewatch?
So, Doomsday opens up with them talking about a pandemic, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And how it hit Scotland. Mm. And then how there's lockdowns. And then how there's martial law.
Do they actually say lockdown?
Quarantine, they call it, don't they?
All right,
and people are told just to stay in their houses and to not come out. But that's while a wall is just fucking built around Scotland. So you watch it going, right, for a start off, that wouldn't happen straight away. They'd wait like 9 months to do it.
Yeah, do you know what blew my mind today, actually? I remembered the first confirmed case of COVID in this country was in York, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fuckers.
Yeah, it was us. Yeah, Doomsday. What did you reckon from literally last week claiming that you'd not seen it?
When you reminded me what it was, I remembered it being really good. I did not remember it being as good. Or no, I don't remember enjoying it as much as I did. Like I clearly did at the time and did this time round as well. It is fucking great, is Doomsday. It is such an homage to so many different movies, but it's done in like a really like affectionate kind of tributary way rather than in a stealing stuff kind of way. Mm. Like it's got big 28 Days Later energy. It's got big Escape from New York, Escape from LA energy. What was the other one that I thought of? Mad Max. It's got some real Mad Max moments in there.
Oh yeah.
It's just, but it's all done in like a, hey, you know these movies you like? What do you reckon would happen if we smushed them all together?
That literally is what Neil Marshall did.
And it is just so much fun. Like from the premise, you know, they're dealing with the pandemic. You've got parallels to the COVID thing in this with the virus. You've got the rest of the world turning its back on Britain. There's your Brexit fucking parallel. And corrupt government, well, there's your Tory parallel. And you're watching it going, this could be really depressing, but it's just so much fun.
The fact that the Prime Minister essentially is a puppet and being controlled by an advisor. You watch it going,
hey, Dominic.
For God's sake, seriously, Neil, what the fuck?
I mean, thankfully, it's not gone as far as this.
Only because I don't think they're competent enough to have let it go this far.
Yeah, to be fair, if the Doomsday virus actually happened, everyone would be fucked.
Yeah. Mm. The reason why this government won't be able to do managed decline is because they're too incompetent to do managed decline.
One of the things that I completely forgot about, but then remembered when we were watching it, that I absolutely fucking love is the fact that like Malcolm McDowell's got this whole like medieval society built up, hasn't he, in his castle in Scotland, and they're all wearing like knights armour and like dresses and stuff like that.
It goes a bit Excalibur every so often.
Yeah, and then there's fucking gift shop signs.
Gift shop signs.
And emergency exit signs and stuff like that. And it's just so fucking hilarious. But it's like, well, yeah, of course they would be there. That makes absolute sense. But the fact that they've not gone, all right, well, if we wanted to perpetuate this myth of like this medieval thing, maybe we should take these signs down. They've just fucking left them there.
Yeah, because that's what it is. That they have taken over a tourist attraction castle in Scotland. You have this opening where it's quite 28 Days Later, and then it becomes Escape from New York for a little bit, and then it becomes Aliens for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it becomes Excalibur for a weird amount of time, and then it becomes Mad Max, and then it becomes Escape from New York again. And it's throwing all of these things around, but having one consistent, and the one consistent is that you've got Rona Mitra running through the middle of it, who is fantastic.
She's really good in it.
And as well, the physicality of it. You're watching it going, at no point do you not think that she is capable of doing all of this?
Yeah.
There's a big bit where she's got to fight a knight. But already in your consciousness, because of the movie, you're going, yeah, but that's not a knight. It's just a guy in a knight's costume. This is weird. But it's like, even her as a character is just going, okay. And then
this
just
is not a fight I ever thought I'd have to have.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But it kind of works. And at all points, you're thinking, yeah, I think she could do this. She could pull this off.
Yeah.
And it's fun. There's never any damsel in distressedness of her.
No.
Or anything like that.
You get that from the daughter a bit, don't you?
Yeah, but then it's peppered with just these really good little, like you said, Bex, that it plays out like a computer game at points, and you've got these occasional boss levels.
I'd play the fuck out of this game.
That are there. You know, you've got the first big boss that she comes up against is Sol.
Yeah.
Craig Conway, who is like is just batshit. And has created this weird fucking Mad Max thing around cannibals.
Well, no, that's a bit more Escape from one of them. I can't remember
Escape
which one.
from New York and LA kind of thrown together a little bit. It's kind of the siege mentality of Escape from New York, but the ridiculousness of Escape from LA thrown into it. There's that element. But then, you've got them about to eat Sean Pertwee to the tune of Fine Young Cannibals.
Sean Pertwee doesn't do well.
No,
does he?
but it just, you're watching it going, I know what you're doing, Neil, but we're on board.
We love it.
We're there for it.
Yeah.
It's so on the nose. But then there's a great, just fun moment where they get on a steam train, and it's almost like it's going, right, we're going to take you from here in time to getting on a steam train that's then going to take, that essentially is almost a little bit Back to the Future-y, where the steam train is going to take you back to medieval times. Here you fucking go. But then they're chasing the steam train to try and get on it. They don't get on it, but Craig Conway's character just screams and then punches one of his henchmen in the face for no reason, other than it just looked funny.
Yeah. And then this tunnel as well, this tunnel that they've got that's like a shortcut through the mountain that clearly they've just not ever investigated what's in there. And there's like all sorts of shit in there. Gasoline and cars. And...
Yeah, and I need to get a mobile phone. And so she just gets at the manifest.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Neil Marshall has thought about it like a film fan. So he's thought about it. He's thought there's gonna be some fucking picky fan who's gonna go, well, which box did she know that the fucking what is it would be in? So she's literally looking at a manifest and going, this one. Boom.
Yeah.
There we go. And so that has been thought of. It is there. The fact that they've used an old Scottish police vehicle as a kind of nod wink to the Interceptor from Mad Max is beautiful. It makes sense. I get it all. All of the pieces fitting together make perfect sense. I like it.
Yeah, and wonder a bit, because I said something to you, didn't I, about you'd be pretty pissed off if you were Bentley. Bentley? Is it a Bentley?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And your sports car was in this movie and it was being like kept up with by like a battered old police cruiser, and you're like, no, because they mentioned that.
Yeah, because he says, floor it, and she says, no, I'm tired of fucking running away from these pricks.
Yeah. But it's like that's it, like picky fuckers going, well, no, there's no way that car would catch up with that. But he's covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that, he's worked it all out. And then she's. I do think that Runnymede should have done more of this kind of badass.
Because she has got a badass kind of vibe to her.
Yeah. And it works, and she's very, very good in it.
Yeah.
Around it. It's an awful lot of fun. It is possibly, as with most movies, it's possibly a touch too long.
No, I don't agree with that.
I do think that if this was 98 minutes rather than 108 minutes, then you'd maybe have a more polished movie, and I mean, it feels more of the movies that it is homaging so beautifully. It'd feel more in keeping with that because they're all around that runtime.
Yeah, possibly.
And yeah, it feels a little bit like it should have a bigger cult following than it does. If you gave this a big Arrow release or something like that, and went like that, I guarantee you'd start to get a bit more of a following behind it, and its cult status would jump up the ladders a little bit more.
I could see Arrow doing this one day, like they have a relationship with Universal, or like Second Sight or something like that. I could see one of them doing it one day.
And Taylor Bates' score very much. It's not directly just ripping off Carpenter, but the fact that he's done it as different type of scores for each different type of, like, almost like he's gone, right, so this is the Carpenter bit of it, this is the Cameron bit of it, this is the Excalibur bit, this is the George Miller bit, right, let's play around with that, let's dick about with that. So the Escape from New York bit is a bit synthy, and he's there, but not too synthy. And then the Mad Max bit is crunching guitar work, and it works like that. It's
like levels.
It is. It's such a lovingly made movie that was just that it didn't quite. It was almost a little bit too early.
The thing is, it's made for nerds. Like, your average person's not going to. But your casual movie watcher isn't necessarily going to pick up all those references and appreciate it in the same way.
But if this had played Fright Fest in 2012 or 13 or something like that, rather than 2008, I think it would have maybe just had a little bit. It would have had a better time.
It would have blown the fucking roof off.
Yeah, it would have done. Because you could have got Neil Marshall there. You could have got probably Malcolm McDowell there.
Yeah.
Just talking about the ridiculousness of it all. Yeah. And it would have, it would have been huge. And it would have, I think it seems like one that organically, like something like Streets of Fire, for instance. Streets of Fire end up getting like releases through boutique labels simply because it ended up on Netflix and shitloads of people watched it. And that's why it ended up getting the retrospective that it has. And Doomsday, I just think that at some point it's going to get that retrospective. It definitely not shit. A lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
Our audience poll that did put it out there. Definitely not shit 50%. Touching Cloth 17%. Shit 17% and Geostorm 16%. I can definitely see a Geostorm shout.
Yeah. Everyone else is just wrong, apart from the ones that said definitely not shit, obviously.
Cool. Okay. And I don't know. Shall I do? Yeah. Shall I talk about what we've been watching, then switch over to you guys? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So as I alluded to earlier on, I've got like half a series of films to talk about, but before that, The Italian Job, the F. Gary Gray remake.
Oh.
I'll be honest, it feels like the film definition of minimum viable product. It is fine.
Looks fucking good, doesn't it?
No, it's well shot. It's
Fister, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Fister. It's the Mighty Fister. Hello, and speaking of the Mighty Fister, here's Lottie. Hello, Lots.
What do you mean, Mighty Fister?
No, love you.
What do you mean, Mighty Fister?
Well, you like to slap me in the face, don't you?
No, I don't.
What?
I don't slap you.
What do you do? You roll your eyes at me, don't you?
Oh,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, baby. All right. No. Love you. Love you, kid.
She sounds fizzy.
Sorry?
She sounds fizzy.
Oh no, she's cracking his lots. Yeah. So the Fister shot it. Yeah, Mike. Fucking hell, Mark is quite right. Sorry, I just kind of thought like, do I need to edit out that I just called my daughter the Mighty Fister?
I think everyone that will understand that you mean it in a she beats you kind of way around.
Yeah. I genuinely kind of meant it in the like she likes to physically assault me more than anything else, but just realised how it sounded. Yeah, no, it does look good, and like the start of it, it's doing all this kind like cool kind of split screeny stuff, and like the image going from like left to right and up and down, and like like cool stuff. And then it just kind of turns into, oh, it's Mark Wahlberg, and he's the nice guy who's been fucked over by Ed Norton, so now he's gonna get some people together to get back Ed Norton. Everybody in the film is more interesting than Mark Wahlberg. That's the problem. Like I say, minimum viable product. He's like, what is the bare minimum I need to do here? All right, fine, I'll do that. What is the bare minimum Italian job stuff we have to do? All right, we'll do that. And it's like, it is a bit of a piss take that the Italian job basically refers to the job at the start of the film that then sets up the rest of the action. The rest of it is just in the US. It's like, fuck off. You know, yes, they're driving minis. Cool. That really is about it. And I mean, like Ed Norton, like apparently literally only did the film because he was under contractual obligation with Paramount to do a film for them. And yeah 100% it shows.
He does not give a fuck.
No. But I mean, Mos Def, Jason Statham, and Seth Green are interesting side buddy characters, and I like them. You know, I'm glad Jason Statham very quickly just went, do you know what? Fuck being number 4 or 5 in a big film. I'll be number 1 or 2 in a medium film.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to do the Italian Job 2. I want to do The Mechanic.
Exactly. You know, and it's worked out well for him. Yeah, I hadn't seen this since the cinema, and it was fine. It was 3 out of 5. You know, absolutely okay. And that was it. You know, probably never watch it again. Do have a bit of hankering to watch the original Italian Job, though, if I'm honest. So I might well get to that soon. That's one that feels like there's going to be a 4K at some point. Anyway, so series of films that I've been watching. So in preparation for Spiral, I this week have watched Saws 1, 2, 3, and 4. And which one did I text you guys and say I don't think I'm going to be able to do this?
Well, you texted after watching halfway through number 2, so you don't think you're going to be able to continue with this.
And then I ended up watching 4 of them, and I'll happily watch the other 4. The thing is, the Saw films, you know, the first one, it was like a bit of a pop culture holy fucking shit moment. It came out at a time where films had been a little bit skittish, a little bit bloodless after 9/11, and this came out and felt like the big cathartic, do you know what, every now and then we do just need to fucking see some gnarly shit film. You know, just like there's a part of the brain that kind of wants to see that like shit or just wallow in misery. And you know, I mean, the debut film from James Wan and Lee Wan-ao, you know, just really came out there and just went, here I am, and spawned this franchise, which it's been interesting watching them because Saw looks like hammered shit. Look, awfully shot film. Like, apparently was basically shot in a warehouse, and various sections of the warehouse were made to look like dressed to look like things. And there is a shot There's a sequence in a car park in like a hotel that Carrie Elways has just seen his mistress in, which when you know that, it's just like, yeah, that does just look like a bit of a warehouse where there's some cars. And I mean, like, it was low budget filmmaking. It was what it was, but it's a film that, really does live on the fantastic setup and that twist, which, is still pretty fucking great, because there is no, obviously, zero indication that body on the floor is someone who's alive.
No.
At all. And when he stands up and he peels like the fucking bloody mask he's got on off, that is like, bravo, fair play. It's still, even knowing it's still like, that's a bravura bit of fucking, I hope Lee won out at the rest of the day off when he thought of that, But I mean, Carrie Elways is awful. He's awful in this. Danny Glover is on autopilot, but Danny Glover on autopilot is still fun to watch. And the whole kind of like he gets driven mad by the Jigsaw Killer kind of aspect of it is well done. I do quite enjoy that. So Saw, I like Saw. I don't love Saw. Then Saw 2 introduces the plot thread that I'd forgotten, which is basically, how much do we hate Donnie Wahlberg? I'd forgotten that not only is he in Saw 2, but he's briefly in 3, and he's like quite a substantial part in 4, even though that part is, we're just going to have you hanging by your neck while your feet are just slipping on ice. Poor Donnie Wahlberg. Like, I hope they paid him well for Donnie Wahlberg. But, and it's interesting, and his character's end in Saw 4, it's fucking incredible. It's like his character goes through such rough shit. But the thing is, with Saw 2, they build up why he's going through rough shit, and he's not a nice dude. He's not a good dude. He's a bit of a dirty cop who pins things on people. Not a great guy. And Saw 2, the whole getting kind of psychological with it, with like him versus Tobin Bell, kind of like while he's trying to interrogate Tobin Bell and whatnot, really good. And again, the twist at the end of Saw 2, I think is really, really well played. The whole aspect of they are watching that feed thinking it's live, but it's not, is terrific. And it works. It works. The torture stuff, it's interesting. Saw 1 actually, isn't that bloody in the grand scheme of things. And then Saw 2's like, nah, fuck that. We're going to start with a guy with like a head mask thing. And yeah, we're just going to like crush his head and you're going to see it all right at the start of Saw.
It was like 4 times the budget as well, wasn't it?
The thing is, the other films, they don't look bad. And Darren Lynn Bousman, interesting director, does some really interesting shit with scene transitions even. Which kind of feed into the whole aspect of the timelines being skewed with. But it's like, there was one bit I noticed where Donnie Wahlberg literally walks off frame to the right, and then he's like arriving at like a crime scene or something, comes in from the left, and it's like he's like, it's changed location, but just in that transition, I thought it was nicely done, and yeah, I mean, like even the cinematography, they have a decent look to them, the later ones. So yeah, and I remember I went to see this in the cinema with Donna, back when she would watch horror films. Like the first one I ever saw in the cinema with Donna was Wolf Creek. I mean, what the fuck?
Grim movie that.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? And there's no way she'd watch stuff like that now, and I don't blame her. But yeah, Saw 2, like the bit with the fucking when she's in with the needles.
Oh, I was talking to a guy at work about this the other day, and he was saying, "All right, what's the worst like kill in the Saw movies then for just like it being just And I was like, and he had no idea what I meant by this. But I went, right, I'm gonna have to pull a bit of a Jordan here and pick something that isn't a kill. But the needle moment in fucking Saw 2, when he was like, "Yep, that is exactly what I was thinking when I said it."
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yep. Can't even think about it.
No, so I'll move on. So yeah, Saw 2. To be honest, I think I like as much as the first Saw because I think the first Saw, just the sheer ingenuity of it is something to behold, and it's like a debut film from like young, hungry filmmakers. It's something. Saw 2, I think Darren Lynn Bousman does some interesting shit visually, and Lee Whannell, I think, wrote the screenplay for this one as well. I think he did the first 3, if I remember correctly. And it's clever, It works, and I like that these earlier films introduce characters who become bigger characters in the later ones as well. So moving on to Saw 3 just 100% amps up this is fucking gnarly, like watch this shit. The brain surgery bit is fucking horrific, just when they're cracking his skull open and then she's like doing the surgery on his brain while he's still fucking awake and stuff. It just it's making my brain itch just thinking about it. And then it gets into which kind of carries on the whole focusing on a single victim or like a single person playing the game and like why are they playing the game. Well, I suppose there's two single. Well, one of them's not too bad. It's just you got to keep him alive, and the other person's going through the challenges. And then the way that ends is the grimmest fucking thing, and I forgot how grim it was, and so just void of hope. It is. But it's a whole. Not only do the two people playing the game get killed, but there's a whole, you can choose to forgive me or kill me. He kills him, and he's like, I'm the only one who knows where your daughter is. And there's just a shot of it, their daughter trapped somewhere, and then it fucking ends. Me no likey.
At no point these movies attempt to not be just fucking grim.
No, yeah, and it just, but there's, that was clever, bloody hell, and then and it's different strokes for different folks, and this one, it's so fucking depressing. Oh my god, like, just the whole thing comes down to, will you forgive me or not? Like, and it's like, if he forgave him, your wife would still be alive. You didn't even know your daughter was missing, but hey, she's missing, and I'll tell you where she is. And it's no, it has that little faith in the human spirit, and it's something. But I mean, it's impressively staged. It's impressively rank. So I still don't hate it. I'd actually still say it's a mild, definitely not shit. Saw and Saw 2 would be like, yeah, definitely not shit. This one, mild. Saw 4 goes touching cloth for me. Due to the fact that the person playing the game this time, his sin is he works too hard. Like, so it's a cop who was introduced in one of the earlier ones who is one of his one of his friends is killed in a Jigsaw game.
Oh yes, from this one now, yeah.
And like he's investigating it, and his boss is like, you need to take some time off. His wife says, look, come with me, let's go away, and he says no, and then he's taken, put into the game, and the whole thing is you've got to learn to just not open some doors. Like, it's a big thematic thing. Like, don't open the door. Just think about this shit. And again, he fails the game. Everybody fucking dies. But it's just, he hasn't necessarily done, in the grand scheme of things that Jigsaw's victims have done wrong, this one, it's the first one where it's like, right, this person isn't really morally, like, he's doing it for the right reasons, and the thing he's doing overall net, it's good that he cares so much. Does he care too much? Yes. Is that necessarily that bad a thing to be put into one of Jigsaw's games? Doesn't really make any sense. But then the fact that it's revealed that his boss is essentially the new Jigsaw, it's then a little bit like, well, you know, is it the fact that there's a new Jigsaw here working with the old Jigsaw kind of influencing these things and like changing Jigsaw's tack? Who knows? I don't remember anything about Saw 5, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. That one, I'm assuming, is going to be the new Jigsaw, like trying to make sure he doesn't get caught while also torturing a bunch of other people. But we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. They're fun puzzle boxes, these films. Like, it does have you in a, well, what's going to happen next? You know, like, it's kind of like a soap opera almost. Just like you want to watch the next episode. You know.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah, that aspect, it is weirdly compelling. And I mean, to be fair, other than Saw 3, they've all been like 90 minutes. Saw 3 is like an hour and 53 minutes, which is
too long.
Fucking overkill. Yeah, it really, really is. But the rest of them are like 90 minutes and you're out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going through the other ones. I remember Saw 6 being this actually, like, surprisingly, that's got some interesting shit to say about the American healthcare system.
Yeah, none of the next ones are longer than 92 minutes.
Perfect. You know. So yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying these. The early word on Spiral is good. Like, if you like the Saw films, you're going to be very pleased with what they're doing here. It's like, yeah, great. And the fact that Darren Lynn Bousman is directing Spiral, that makes
sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So there you go. That's me. Saw films.
Only Saw and Saw 3, like you were saying there. Those two ones are the only ones that are above 93 minutes long, including Spiral.
Oh, is Spiral only like an hour and a half? Great.
93 minutes.
Oh, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. The fuck in and the fuck out.
Great stuff. Yeah, I'm really, really pumped for Spiral. I think it will be a higher quality first one back after an extended break than Unhinged was, but Unhinged will always have a fond place in my heart.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents tried to watch Unhinged.
Really?
Yeah, because it's on Sky now, isn't it? And they didn't know anything about it. My mum did not like it. Dad was like, plays a good psycho though, doesn't he? I was like, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yep. Your fucking mate who likes sweaty footballers should watch that. It'd be a right fucking porn fest for him.
Oh dear.
Anyway, that's it for me.
Brett, have you seen Unhinged? No. Then get the fucking Kleenex and tell your missus to go out for the fucking night.
Nice.
You're
I haven't watched
hosting.
anything solo, so
Oh, well, you're supposed to, as host, you're supposed
I'm
to.
not hosting.
Oh.
Okay. What else have you been watching, guys?
Okay, so I genuinely, I only watched one film on my own because Resident Evil Village, woo! You said in the messages that I had to do it at some point.
Yeah, fair enough. You can do it at Village Blast.
That echoed around the room.
It echoed on the house.
Yeah. So I watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is just, I hate the phrase, but it is chef's kiss perfection of a horror movie. It is like a masterclass in tension building. Things just get gradually more and more weird and more scary, but without, in a lot of cases, without anything inherently scary happening, but it's just the building of the atmosphere and the creepiness. Like the Jane Doe, she literally just lays there the whole time. Like she doesn't get up and do anything scary.
Nope.
It is fantastic. Emile Hirsch is brilliant in it. Brian Cox is fucking brilliant in it.
It's almost like if you get two really, really good actors to just do
But yeah, it's mostly just them two.
Yeah.
Ophelia Lovett-Bond's in there for a minute, and then you can remember that she was once a thing. And
curse the fact that she's no longer a thing.
She's very beautiful, isn't she?
She's adorable.
She is, yeah. I did notice while I was watching this though that Emile Hirsch kind of looks like a young, slimmed down Jack Black. He's got real Jack Black vibes to his look in this movie.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it is brilliant and terrifying. And like I say, this was my coming down from the tension and scariness of playing Resident Evil 8 until the early hours of the morning. And it possibly wasn't the best one that I could have picked, to be fair, because I went to bed and was like checking for shit moving around. That was the night that I said to you, every time I closed my eyes, I could see the little black cross in a white circle of things that you have to collect in Resident Evil as well. So in my brain was just Resident Evil 8, Autopsy of Jane Doe, that cat getting killed. Yeah. But it's a fucking great film. I would wholeheartedly and enthusiastically recommend The Autopsy of Jane Doe to any horror fan.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying it when we watched it.
It's so atmospheric. Like I say, there's the scary bits with like corpses shuffling around and everything like that, but there's nothing overt, and it's not particularly gory or anything like that. It's
atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's freaking you out by our atmosphere. It's clever filmmaking.
It is wonderful. It's such a great film. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. I'm going to let you do Accepted because I've talked about Accepted quite a few times.
You have talked about it. It feels like you talked about Accepted not that long ago.
It was only just over a year ago, actually, that I watched it last time, but I watched it again, didn't we? And yeah, but it was your first time watching it, I believe, Becky, wasn't it?
No, I think I've watched it before, but then I'd forgotten about it completely.
So, on the floor again.
It's just, it's quite good fun. Like, for the first sort of segment of the film, you're like, well, I was anyway, because maybe I was overthinking it, but I was like, but this is just like fraud on like a grand scale. Like whatever his good intentions were to start off with, he should have put a stop to this, which is obviously the same thought process that Jonah Hill's character was having. So Jonah Hill was the conscience in this that I would have been had I been there. But yeah, I mean, it all pans out fine, and, they get to have their hippy-dippy kind of school teaching things like slacking 101. And do you know what? As a kind of, and I know it's not intending to be this, because it's just a funny film about some guys that don't get accepted into a normal university, but there should be alternative higher education options for people that don't want a degree in something, but just want like to learn life skills and stuff like that. And there's nothing like that. There's no like educational options that will teach you how to adult better that aren't like university, which don't teach you any of that anyway. They teach you how to pass exams.
Yeah, that's it.
Something like this.
That's what this film's talking about.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really delve, because obviously the extracurriculum classes that they're teaching are not like, they're not necessarily going to teach you life skills. But I don't know, Yeah, it just kind of made me look at the educational system in a bit of a different way. It's like either
Didn't expect that.
go to uni or go out and get a job. That's your fucking two choices. There's no like, take a few years and find who you are before you have to go and do that.
Fair enough. And then
Although I would never let Isabel go to something like that. She has to get a fucking degree.
finally, we watched Roger Dawson's The Getaway remake, didn't we?
We did. A film which is much, much better than the trailer makes it out to be.
Well, fair enough.
You showed me the trailer, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. And you're like, that's the least enthusiastic yeah I've ever heard. And I was like, no, let's give it a go. And it is actually really good. The trailer's not.
I'm not disagree on that.
The trailer doesn't really give off vibes that she's in on it all.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. It probably did for you because you know. But like the bit where she's crying and she's like, what a way to make a living. It kind of suggests that she's with him and accepts it, but not that she's necessarily part of it.
Right, fair enough, yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got it's again written by Walter Hill, who wrote the original Getaway for Sam Peckinpah. But this time it's not Ali McGraw and Steve McQueen. It is Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger. But then you've also got within that James Woods, Michael Madsen, and Jennifer Tilly are also thrown into it as well. Have you seen The Getaway, Ian?
No, I haven't.
So it's, I mean, the thing is that the original is very, very good. And this probably isn't as good as that. But it's still good in its own way, and it feels incredibly 90s.
Oh yeah.
Thriller within that. So it's what it's about. It's about Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, I think she was at this time, are a husband and wife team who are essentially like master thieves. Alec Baldwin's character gets essentially set up by Michael Madsen's character and ends up going to prison. And then Kim Basinger's character essentially helps get him out with the aid of James Woods' businessman, and they do a job for him to say, you know, as payment for it. It goes wrong, and they end up having to have a getaway. And that's what it is, but with Michael Madsen chasing him down, and David Morse, who is James Woods' henchman, chasing him down as well, and then all converging on the Mexico border.
But it doesn't initially go wrong, does it? Like, with the exception of Philip Seymour Hoffman shooting that security guard, the job is, it goes fine. They get the money, they get out, and they've arranged to meet somewhere. But then Michael Madsen decides that he wants to kill everyone else so he can keep the money for himself.
Yeah, everyone else just tries to fuck everyone else over, and that's what goes fucking wrong with it. But it ticks along brilliantly on the sheer personality of everybody involved. It's a clever script. It's a polished script. He'll tweaked his own script to make it more accessible to the time frame that it's in then.
Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger bounce off each other really
well.
Yeah,
and they were married at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That'll probably be why they had such good chemistry then.
Yeah.
And bickered so convincingly.
But then you've got Michael Madsen essentially stealing Jennifer Tilly as a hostage.
Oh, that bit where her husband hangs himself's really awful.
Yeah, it is. It's grim.
She's funny in this. He's got a hell of a head of hair in this as well.
Madsen has the full Madsen hair in it. Yeah. It's great. But yeah, it's a great kind of entry into those mid-90s thrillers.
What night of the week kind of movie would you class it as?
It's a strong Thursday night.
It is a strong Thursday night movie.
It's a strong Thursday night, yeah. It's not something like a Basic Instinct where you wanted to save it for a Saturday.
It's not a hump day movie either.
But it's not a hump day movie. But it is the movie that will take you nicely into a fucking weekend.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Going straight out there. Whereas the original Getaway is a full-blown Sunday night movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the other point is, I like the fact that it essentially is going, right, we've got a lot of good-looking people in this movie. Let's have them be good-looking, but just in a really just like, we're not going to have them overly made up or anything like that. We're going to rely on the fact that these are just good-looking people, but then their hair might be fucking all over the place and everything like that, but they still, look at them. Look at them.
Kim Basinger when she falls out of the bin wagon.
Yeah.
Still would.
We're gonna put them in. We're literally gonna drench them in trash, and you're gonna still look at them and go, "Yeah, I still would though."
Wow.
Jennifer Tilly is funny in this. It's just weird seeing her not be. I don't know. It feels like a different vibe. But yeah, that's us.
Okay. Let's get some Twitter questions. Mark, pardon me, what do we have?
I feel like, did we have one or two here?
I saw one.
I saw one. I just thought we might have had two, but I think we may have had one.
I only saw one and I do not have an answer to this question.
Rick Kidd, as mentioned in last week's episode, Doomsday is very much an amalgamation of a number of films. If you give a blank page to make a film, which is basically a mixture of multiple films, what would you create and which films would be your influences?
My Neighbor Totoro meets Rescue Dawn meets Ghost.
It's pretty special, that. Is it animated or is it live action? Or is it
animated?
Or is it both?
No, it's animated. Fully animated.
Fully animated. That's
fully animated.
Rex?
No, this is a question that required much more brain time than I could give it today. I haven't got an answer to this question. I saw it and I was like, fuck, that's a question. That's gonna require some meaty thinking time, and then I didn't get any meaty thinking time.
Just to confirm, sorry, I want Demi Moore crashing down, surviving, with Ghost Patrick Swayze assisting her, and Whoopi Goldberg is Cat Bus.
I watched the shit out of that.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Right, what I want, right, is literally, it's almost a little bit like Bloodsport at the start of it, where you've got randomly all of these people getting a fucking just a random invitation, but it's not like an invitation, it's like a calling that they have to all go to this place, they have to get to this place, right? And then when they fucking get there, it's basically like fucking it's light beyond the fucking Thunderdome, fucking Mad Max, where they've all got to fucking fight each other, and essentially, right, it's like John McClane is there to solve a fucking crime. Fucking Rambo's there to get some fucking Vietnam fucking vets. Fucking John Matrix is there to fucking save his daughter. Fuck it. I don't care if you've got different fucking Schwarzeneggers. The fucking Terminator turns up as well, as Schwarzenegger's also playing in. Both the twins from Double Impact are there. Frank Dux from fucking Bloodsport, that's what's there. Fucking Chuck Norris there gets killed really fucking quickly. And basically it's all of that, and it's just called Fortnite.
Sounds chaotic.
Sounds chaotic, but funny.
I feel like that would be what Stephen E. D'Souza would have written if Fortnite was Street Fighter in the 90s.
Yeah.
Just the sheer, I don't really know what this is, but give me a 2-line summary and I'll make it work.
Yeah. If I sat down and pitched that to somebody in actual power right now, they'd go, right, yeah, we're going to steal that off you. We're going to make it $200 million, and it's going to look like shit. Basically, it's Ready Player 2, but just fucking shit.
Nice.
The thing is, Mark, if Lottie was awake, I would get her in here right now. But there's a lot of building in Fortnite.
Not in this Fortnite, Rim. They can put that right off.
Not in this Fortnite, there's not.
No,
all right, fair enough.
John Matrix could build shit. Fucking 18, they can be there as well.
To be fair, John Matrix could build shit.
Yeah, there you fucking go. Fucking Rambo, he could build shit.
Sorry, just to circle back a second. Lottie plays Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Why? I play it with her.
Fair enough. I thought she was more of a Minecraft girl.
Oh no, I mean she plays Minecraft and Fortnite. She doesn't have to be one or. Stop being so binary.
I don't know. Fortnite just seems very rah to me.
Yeah, and she likes the rah, but she also likes the more contemplative. Look what I've built.
Fair enough.
She's a girl of different facets.
I thought you were just fighting Fortnite. I didn't know there was.
No, yes, like build stuff as you're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like exclusive fucking trailers for some reason.
I couldn't play Fortnite because you've got to use too many buttons at the same time, and it's just oh no.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Like trying to build in Fortnite, like compared to the speed that Lottie can build things, I feel like I'm dead.
The thing is,
so
I'm okay with using all of the buttons on a controller on something like FIFA. I can do that without thinking about it, and it's no problem because I've grown up from using 2 buttons to 3 buttons to what are these buttons on the top? You can use those as well, and then I gradually got used to it. You give me a control now, and I go, what? Wait, so I've got to go press the triangle, and then I've got to go side and push this button in, and that activates. I've been shot again.
Oh, actually, just on that, one of the things that I hate about Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 is that you have to press down L3 to run.
I've gotten used to that because of World War Z, though. So what you do is you use the middle of your thumb. You don't push down on it like that, like you would do like that onto it. You use your thumb and you press down and push forward like that.
Yeah, I know you do. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's that motion.
It should be like it used to be like you hold R2 if you want to run, but now R2 does different things.
That's there's how many buttons is on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 70. There's 809 buttons on there.
809.
Yeah, and then if you fucking divide it by itself, you've just got a billion different button options.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
I used to like it when it was just use. Do you know what?
3 buttons.
Running
A, B,
used
and
to
C.
be you push the up button, then it was the fucking L3 pivoty thing, and then it was if you wanted to run, you use the L3 pivoty thing and R2, and now R2 is fire, so you have to have something else.
I got genuinely angry when, granted it's Pro Evo, it wasn't FIFA at the time, when Pro Evo stopped you from being able to use the D-pad to control your player, and you had to start using the analog stick.
That's what it's called, not the L3 thingy.
I got angry at that because I was like, no, I don't want to use that fucking weird joystick thing. I want the D-pad.
D-pad.
Yeah.
D-pad sounds like a good insult.
It is a good insult.
It's such a fucking D-pad.
Hey Cooper, you're a D-pad.
On that note, that's the end of the show. So coming up on next week's show, unfortunately, because Becky insists on having a holiday, fucker.
It's not just me.
It is you.
It's not.
It is. Pretty sad.
We could go to the cinema in Hull.
We could.
We're not gonna.
We'd be able to on our City World because we're Group 3.
We would.
All right. Well, it's been made very clear that Mark's not allowed to engage in any cinemering while he's on holiday. So we will be, I believe, recording on Sunday. And discussing The Woman in the Window, the much delayed former Fox film that was sold to Netflix. So I believe it's based on a book. Don, Woman in the Window, is that a book that was no idea. Okay. I believe it's a book.
It's a book, yeah.
It's based on a book. I believe my boy Brian Tyree Henry is in it. So
he is indeed.
Yep, looking forward to that. Apparently,
Ian Tracy Letts is in it.
Oh, great.
So you know what kind of character he's going to play.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love a bit of Tracy Letts. Okay,
really good cast.
It's a really good cast. And apparently, it ain't great.
No, apparently it's an absolute bag of shit.
Yeah.
Amy Adams is literally refusing to do any even like promo for it from home.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's boring?
Why?
Because Anthony Mackie's there, so he sucked any charisma out of the movie.
I do think it also might have something to do with the fact that almost all of the cast thought that Joe Wright was a prick.
Yeah, big prick energy. Yeah, and apparently there were like reshoots and like it's We shall see. We shall see. But yes, apparently it's awful. We will discuss. And then in the episode after, so episode 399, we will be talking Spiral and whatever else we get to see at the cinema before we record. And then episode 400, I believe, may be a Conjuring 3 Quiet Place 2 double bill.
Woo!
Which feels quite... That feels like good milestone episode content.
Yeah. I love the fact that Becky, we're going to go away. A nice romantic week away
Watch
and
all the
watch
Saw
all
movies.
of the Saw movies.
Oh, right. Is there a better place, though, on the planet to watch a load of fucking Saw movies than in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere? I don't think so. It will up the scare factor.
Yeah, fair enough.
If someone was going to kidnap us, it would be from that cabin.
You two watching the Saw films in a hot tub feels like very private time. I don't want to fucking... like,
You don't find the Saw movies erotic, Ian?
I beg to differ.
Yeah, bit.
When that one goes a little bit mad and you go, oh, fuck, she's a jigsaw, I must admit she goes up a few levels in she might be a little bit hotter now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I like the idea that any of Jigsaw's accomplices are just, oh fuck, it's a jigsaw. Brilliant. That top stuff. Okay, yeah. So we'll be back next week with Woman in the Window, and I will be fucking high as a kid on Christmas. Like, I think Donna should be very, very thankful we're recording next Sunday, so that my I get to go to the cinema tomorrow energy is being directed towards the podcast for a few hours. But yeah, until then, thank you very much for listening, folks. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you much, Ian, and thank you very much for listening, everybody.
We shall speak to you all next week. Stay safe. Get your fucking vaccine, please, for the love of God. Good night.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.